on COVID. Alam natin na ang ating partner dito sa pag-implement at saka pag-expand ng face-to-face ay ang Department of Health. As early as September, humingi na tayo ng pahintulot sa Presidente na binigay naman na we can exercise our own initiative. Ang mga regional offices, yun ang representative ng Department of Education as in other agencies. So lahat na nangyayari sa departamento, alam na alam ng mga regional directors dahil every week nagmi-meet naman kami, nagbabalitaan, nag-share ng problems at saka mga victories as well. So at kung may mga komplikasyones, ito ay nare-resolve kaagad. So ang tingin ko, handa naman ang Region 2. Yun nga lang, may bagong announcement ang Department of Health na sinabi ko na nalagay sa alert level 3 ang Santiago, ang Cagayan at saka tatlong alert level 3, no, Aster, Nueva Vizcaya, Isabela, Quirino, at saka yung sa Santiago, sa Cagayan at saka Tugigaraw na nagiging alert level 3. At saka kung alert level 3, extra care yun ang pag-implement ng face-to-face. 1 and 2 levels ay wala namang problema. This is up to January 31, 14 to 31. Yung February naman, maglabas ng bagong assessment ang Department of Health. Ito ay base sa kanilang mga observations, pag-monitor ng state of health. So on the health side, doon ang extra care. But on the academic side, handa naman talaga tayo right from the beginning. Dahil ang region, sinasabi ko, ulitin ko uli, ay yun ang mga mini versions of the department. So alam na alam nila kung anong mga pagbabago sa ating polisiya, alam nila kung anong nangyayari sa ibang regions at saka every week nagkakaroon tayo ng assessment. Thank you, Nina.
Maraming salamat, Secretary, for that answer. And yes po, let's proceed to our next question, still from Radio Pilipinas, from Maria Florence Tarcina. For the second question, Secretary, how will the agency address the delay of the delivery of some modules to the learners? And since this is for one of the pressing concerns of our parents.
I think Regional Director Ben can update us on this because these are issues, ang sabi natin sa ating mga regional directors at saka division superintendents at saka our frontliners na kung mayroong challenge, they take the initiative kasi iba't iba ang sitwasyon sa iba't ibang rehiyon. They take the initiative of resolving these problems dahil kabisado nila ang actual na situation. So makakatulong na sumagot sa tanong na ito si RD Paragas, RD Ben at saka yung ibang mga SDSs. Thank you.
Yes.
Director Nina, magandang tanghali, Ma'am Secretary Liling. Alam mo, may mga ready mechanism ang ating mga SDOs kung ang health alert level status ng kanilang mga lugar ay tumataas, which means nagkakaroon tayo ng upsurge ng COVID cases. Naturally, pinapangalagan natin ang kalusugan ng ating mga kaguruhan na nagdi-deliver sa mga modules. But ang ginagawa nila ay nakikipag-work in tandem sila sa mga local government units at kung medyo nag-improve ng situation ay doon nila dinideliver ang mga needed modules sa mga bata. Hindi naman problema yung mga modules kung may online, may wifi connection yung mga lugar. Ang pag-aaral ay tuloy-tuloy, maliban lang kung ang mga paaralan ay situated sa mga hard-to-reach areas tulad ng magbabangka ka at magtatawid ka sa mga maraming ilog. siyempre may konting delay. But as soon as the situation improves, katuwang natin ang ating mga barangay folks, ating mga group leaders, ating mga LGUs, and some health personnel sa pagdadala mismo ng module sa tahanan ng ating mga mag-aaral. May mga SDS dito na may mga strategies to address this particular concern. Andito ba yung SDS ng Cagayan o Isabela or Vizcaya? Kasi medyo malalayo ang yung mga paaralan dyan. I know yung mga coastal towns natin, mahirap abutin.
Maraming salamat, RD Ben. Sir Amir, meron pa tayong mga katanungan?
Yes, Director Nina, let's also welcome Sir Villamor Visaya, Luzon-wide correspondent, and also from the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Hello, Sir Vil. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Sir Amir, and good afternoon, Secretary. My question is, some teachers and the school personnel complain that the policy requiring mandatory vaccination for the in-person classes is somewhat discriminatory. So, what is your take on this matter, Secretary?
I like the question very much because it gives us an opportunity to clarify not only policies in the Department of Education, but national policy as well. Ito ay kinonsulta na natin itong issue na ito mismo sa Department of Justice at naglabas na ng pahayag ang ating Secretary of Justice along with the Secretary of Health. Maliwanag right from the beginning, paulit-ulit nating sinasabi na hindi mandatory ang pag-vaccinate. That is a choice. But at the same time, pinapakinggan at inaalagaan ang kabutihan ng marami in relation to those probably who do not want to be vaccinated. At saka nagpakita, nagpalabas ng mga pag-aaral, batas, etc. At saka ang Department of Education mismo gumawa ng legal study na sa mga instances na ganito, ang welfare ng many will have to be taken into consideration. The good of the greater number, di ba? Palagi nang tinuturo yan sa atin. High school pa tayo, the greatest good for the greater number of people. Pero walang pilitan. Ngayon, yung hindi vaccinated, ang sabi natin, pwede naman silang magpa-test. Magpa-test sila para sila makapasok sa eskwelahan. But at their own expense. Kasi yung free na nagagawa yan ng mga local governments, makakuha sila ng free ng mga test. Pero kung hindi pa rin sila magpa-vaccinate, mag-test sila kung talagang may COVID sila o hindi. Because we have to protect the majority of the parents and the local governments at saka national policy, enhance natin yan na the greater good of the greater number ang magpe-prevail, no? So ngayon, kung halimbawa isang teacher o isang staff ayaw magpo-vaccinate pero gustong pumasok sa school, di magpa-test siya. Ginawa yan sa ibang bansa. Then yung ayaw magpa-vaccinate, di magpa-test na para magkaroon sila ng clearance but at their own expense dahil may mga centers naman kung saan libre ang pagpapavaccinate. Kung ayaw pa rin, mag-test sila, magpa-test sila. So, walang sinasabi na discrimination kasi ito is a matter of personal choice vis-a-vis national interest and national protection. It's a matter of the protection of the many vis-a-vis those who also want control over their own health systems But when we make choices, of course, there are also expectations. Like yung mag-choice na mag-vaccinate, di tinuturukan sila. That's their choice. Kung ayaw mag-vaccinate, hindi sila tuturukan, but magpa-test sila. Yun lang naman. Now, yung iba naman, dahil kung halimbawa, hindi sila pwedeng pumasok dahil talagang ayaw magpa-vaccinate, at saka nakita na namin ito sa ibang mga regions, sabi na nila pwedeng work at home arrangements. Pero itong work at home arrangements, kailangan closely monitored. Alam naman natin na kung ikaw ay nagtatrabaho sa bahay mo, hindi naman magsasabi kang magbibilang ka ng 8 oras o 10 oras. Nasa bahay ka eh. So kailangan, one, maliwanag kung anong i-deliver mo while you are working at home. What is your assignment? What will you do? Secondly, i-monitor kung talaga bang nagagawa yung sinasabing gagawin while working at home. Kasi yung benefits mo hindi naman tatanggalin. Thirdly, ayan, ginawa namin yan sa isang region, sa Region 6, na i-monitor regularly. O na-deliver na ba ito? Sabi, ganito, gagawa ng ganyan, o magkukorek ng whatever, etc. Nagawa ba yan? So there is monitoring. Pang-apat, and this is covered by civil service rules and regulations, huwag mag-refrain from participating in political debates on various issues. Kasi you have on the one hand, the Department of Education saying you are free, hindi na mandatory. Tapos on the other hand, mayroon ding very, very vigorous opinions which are expressed, and very specific ang COMELEC, specific pa ulit-ulit. 3 beses na namin yan release yung mga activities which are not encouraged on the part of government officials. Kasi now you have an official government policy encouraging vaccination, and if you are against vaccination and then you attack vaccination while you are doing your work at home, then that is quite awkward and might call attention to civil service, to COMELEC, etc., etc. So to summarize, there is no discrimination. The choice is yours. And if you want to participate, then you have yourself tested. And if you are not participating in the tests of the local government and of the schools, then you do it at your own expense, because that is your choice. Every choice always has a cost. Even for those who choose to be vaccinated, natuturukan sila kung minsan sa isip nila may lagnat sila o ano man dyan. So may cost yan. Pangatlo, there is still a choice na mag-work at home. Now, kung mag-work at home, very specific ang outputs. Pangalawa, i-monitor yung delivery ng outputs. Pangatlo, i-assess ng superior official yung delivery ng mga outputs na yan. Pang-apat, refrain from debates on this issue because the government policy is very clear and we are considered as government employees. Mga staff tayo sa government, and clear na clear ang sinasabi ng COMELEC, sinasabi ng Civil Service Commission, yung tinatawag na political neutrality. So kung may relation to politics, hindi tayo makikisali diyan. So I hope that answers your question, which I truly and really welcome, because the impression is that there is forcible vaccination. No, there is forcible. No, You make a choice. The way Adam made a choice. Adam ate the apple. He cannot say that it was Eve who made him eat the apple. And Eve cannot say that it was the serpent who made. It was a choice. And when we make choices, you know, choices also are accompanied by responsibilities. So, thank you. And I can see from your smiles na gets mo yung sagot. Okay. And by the
Thank you very
way,
much,
we
Madam Secretary.
such a decision in one region, and it is working very well. Dahil iniisip-isip ng mga teacher natin na kung magpa-vaccinate sila sa local government o sa health center, libre naman. So rather than spend on their own and stay at home. So, you know, pero everywhere there is always a choice, and all choices have consequences. And we cannot, you know, make a choice and to do as we please, but at the same time, we have to consider what are the costs of such choices. Thank you. Yan, ngiti naman, oy. Okay.
Ang sarap ng ngiti ni Sir Villamor, Madam Secretary. Thank you, Sir Bill, for bringing up that question. At least naliwanagan po tayong lahat, no? So, pero pa mga questions, Director Nina?
Yes, thank you, Sir Amir. And we'll proceed with our third media representative. Ngayon naman makakasama po natin Mr. Herbert Pascua ng Live Radio.
Good afternoon po sa inyo pong lahat, especially to our Secretary Leonor Briones. Ang tanong ko po ay, handa na po ba yung ating mga teachers sa pangangalaga po ng ating mga estudyante?
Tuloy ang academic activity. Kaya nga, I'm very careful with the use of the phrase academic break. Hindi naman tayo nag-break. Last year, nag-open tayo October. This year, nag-open tayo ng September. It's just that the response and the methods of learning have to be adjusted to the actual situation of COVID. Now, on the matter of COVID, of course, has worsened or has brought about more maybe variations of mental health problems, not only among our young learners, but also even among adults. Kasi unprecedented ito, and the future is so uncertain. You don't know what's going to happen. And at the same time, you feel threatened because of the advances in technology na kailangang hahabulin at hindi natin mahahabol kaagad-agad. So ang dami-daming threats, not only for the young people, but even for the adults and even for our teachers. So let's go to your question kung gaano ba kahanda ang mga paaralan. Ngayon may sistema tayo na mayroon tayong sistema ng guidance counselors. Challenge ang ang trabaho, ang pag-attract ng guidance counselors dahil mayroong requirements that they have to have a master's degree and they have to have their LET eligibility as well and so on, no? But may mga programs na tayo na na-develop online kung saan itong mga bagay na ito pinag-usapan. When I visited, for example, Region 1, I had the opportunity to attend a national conference of heads of student governments of high school and senior high school. Bringing up din nila ito. Ang sabi nga nila, gusto nilang turuan kung paano makakatulong sila ng kapwa nila estudyante. So this is something that we are working at. We are in consultation with professional associations of psychiatrists and psychologists. May mga programs tayo. Ang importante lamang i-access ng mga bata ito. Pero hindi lamang ang mga bata, ang adults mismo at ang teachers. Now let me share with you my own actual experience. Binasa ko yung journal ng isang bata na inano niya yung buhay niya. Binasa ko, 2 volumes. Wala akong nakitang reference to module. Wala akong nakitang reference. Sinasabing kaya niya. Ang nagiging challenge sa kanya ay yung sinasabi ko na nga, 1, poverty is an issue. Second is, of course, yung transition, mga personal relationships. Third, and this is very important, identity. Ano ba ako? And these things, of course, add to the confusion. And it's not only COVID. It's not only pandemic. Because this is already an escalating problem even before the pandemic. But we are not making excuses. We recognize that the pandemic has created, in a sense, special mental problems. Nag-exacerbate ito. So, siniseryoso ito natin. May mga groups, may mga online programs tayo. At saka yung sinasabi ng mga bata na gusto nilang tumulong at matuturuan, pero a matter of mental health is very sensitive. I mean, one has to, as I said, to have a training or an outlook na para ma-monitor kung what is happening inside a child's mind. Kaya ako nga noon, nagpuyat talaga ko, binasa ko yung 2 volumes ng journal ng isang bata na may ginawa siyang na very sad, no? So, ito, we are aware of it. Hindi natin sasabihin na talagang we have a solution to mental health because it has always been there. But we are doing our very best. We are opening doors. Sana nandito si Dr. Ko kasi may mga mga programs na young people talk to fellow young people or else you facilitate dialogue between parents and the children and then also teachers. So this is a continuing effort, but let me assure you that we are aware of it. I'm sure in this room alone, most of us underwent transition issues. And we went transition issues of various kinds. And there was a time even in generation ng mga existentialists na the issue of suicide was considered a moral thing to do. You reject life and all that sort of things. But kailangan harapin. And we are doing our very best and we are aware of the problem itself. It's multifaceted. You cannot say you commit a suicide because of a module. You cannot say as professionals, you have to have, as I said, professional training. So ito yung ating bigyan ng response dahil we cannot get as many guidance counselors as we would wish because of the requirements of law. So ito, challenge din ito, hindi lamang sa Department of Education, but to the whole of society. Those who make laws, those who make policies, and those who make requirements now which affect our agency. So I hope, Herbert, I have answered your question. It's a very long answer, but we have to see the entirety of the situation and not just focus on one particular incident. Thank you.